The House Congressional Pro-Life Caucus appoints 2 new female co-chairs, freshman Representatives Kat Cammack of Florida and Michelle Fischbach of Minnesota. The new co-chairs make up 2 of the newly elected female members of Congress during what's been a historic number of pro-life women elected to the U.S. House this term. Cammack has joined EWTN Pro-Life Weekly before when she shared with us how she was almost aborted, but her mother chose life in the face of pressure from doctors. Fischbach has previously served 22 years in the Minnesota State Senate, even serving as the state's first female Senate president, where she led multiple initiatives to protect mothers and their unborn children. In Congress, Fischbach has already authored the Protecting Life and Taxpayers Act of 2021 to block taxpayer funding of groups that perform abortion. Fischbach is Catholic. She and Cammack joined the 2 other co-chairs of the House Pro-Life Caucus, Representatives Chris Smith of New Jersey and Andy Harris of Maryland. Joining us from Capitol Hill is the new House Pro-Life Caucus co-chair herself, Representative Michelle Fischbach of Minnesota. Welcome to the show, Congresswoman, and congratulations on your new role. First, what's your reaction to your pro-life appointment?
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for having me on, but I am certainly honored to be the co-chair of the Pro-Life Caucus because it is such an important issue, and so I'm honored to be able to lead on that issue.
Absolutely, it's an important caucus. What is your top pro-life priority in the House of Representatives, and how do you plan to navigate the pro-abortion majority in the House?
Well, you know, we are navigating a pro-abortion majority, and it is more difficult, particularly with the Biden administration and their radical pro-abortion agenda. But, you know, we've introduced the Protecting Life and Taxpayers Act this year, and what we are really trying to do is make sure that our taxpayer dollars are not going to fund abortion, and that is one of our top priorities this year because they are continuing attacks on the Hyde Amendment and those protections that taxpayers have.
Absolutely. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who is also Catholic, gave this response last week when asked whether she thinks an unborn baby at 15 weeks is a human being. Take a listen to this.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm with CNS News. The Supreme Court this fall will review a Mississippi law that bans most abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. Is an unborn baby at 15 weeks a human being?
Let me just say that I'm a big supporter of Roe v. Wade. I'm a mother of 5 children in 6 years. I think I have some standing on this issue as to respecting women's right to choose.
Is it a human being?
Yes.
Speaker Pelosi.
Congresswoman, what is your response to what Speaker Pelosi had to say?
You know, it is unfortunate that she is using her role as a mother to cover up the fact that this really truly is an unborn child. It is a human being, and she is using that fact, her motherhood, to say that she has standing and the rest of us don't, to protect Roe versus Wade. And like I said, it is very unfortunate because we all know that that unborn child is a human being and deserves all of the rights and protections humans have.
Absolutely. I understand you are Catholic as well. Last week, 60 of your Catholic Democrat colleagues in the House released a statement of principles with a message to the U.S. bishops, asking them not to withhold Holy Communion to Democratic lawmakers who support abortion. They called it a weaponization of the Eucharist. Did you hear about that, and what do you make of that?
Well, I did hear about that, and I absolutely disagree with them regarding that. And they should not be getting into church politics. They should certainly be respecting what the bishops have to say and what the Catholic Church teaches.
Does your Catholic faith shape your pro-life beliefs?
Yes, it does, but it also is just a deep fundamental belief in the right to life of the unborn and believing in the protection of life from conception to natural death. And I believe it's so fundamental that all religions should be encompassing it, but I'm particularly proud that the Catholic faith does promote it.
For our viewers who are meeting you for the first time, what do you want them to know about your pro-life background and what this issue means to you personally?
Well, it is so fundamental, so important. It is a deep held belief, and like I said, from conception to natural death, and that we should be protecting life. It means so much to know that there is a pro-life legislator. When I'm visiting and meeting and working with other pro-life legislators, it is that basic fundamental belief that makes them able to move forward and do the right thing for the people of the United States.
Well, thank you for your yes in this new pro-life leadership role. We're grateful to have you and to meet you, Representative Michelle Fischbach of Minnesota. Thank you for your time.
Well, thank you so much, and I appreciate the opportunity to say a few words today. Thank you.
Absolutely. God bless. And joining us now on Skype is Marilyn Musgrave, former U.S. Representative for the state of Colorado, and today the Vice President of Government Affairs for the Susan B. Anthony list. Congresswoman, welcome back. First, what is your reaction to Representative Fischbach being named co-chair of the House Pro-Life Caucus? How significant is this?
Well, it's very significant. What great news. Michelle Fischbach made history in Minnesota. She served over 2 decades in the Senate there and twice was elected Senate president. No woman had ever held that position before. She authored the informed consent bill in the Senate there and advocated for life on every occasion, and she's doing that in Congress right now. We couldn't be happier.
She's certainly a leader. As a former representative yourself, what's your advice today to the Pro-Life Caucus on how they can navigate a pro-abortion majority in Congress?
Well, the pro-abortion majority is so extreme. And I think that the pro-life leaders need to counter that by demanding a vote on Born Alive. All the Republicans, 211 of them, have signed the discharge petition, including our 31 pro-life women. And they just have to advocate for high protections at every turn and also really expose the other side for them wanting to do away with all the rules to push their abortion agenda.
I understand that the budget battle over the Hyde Amendment is beginning this week on Capitol Hill. What should our viewers know?
Well, they should be aware that we not only have the Hyde Amendment, but we have over 24 amendments that have been added through the years that protect life. There's the Dornan Amendment that prohibits taxpayer funding of abortions in D.C., the Helms Amendment, which prohibits taxpayer funding of abortions overseas, the Dickey-Wicker Amendment, for instance, that prohibits our tax dollars going for human embryo, the destruction of human embryos in research. So all of these are incredibly important, and our pro-life friends have to fight for those protections.
Absolutely. This week, a reporter asked White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki about President Joe Biden's views on unborn life. Take a listen.
Does the president believe that a 15-week-old unborn baby is a human being?
Are you asking me if the president supports a woman's right to choose? He does.
Congresswoman, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm just appalled. A right to choose, talking about a baby at 15 weeks whose faithful little heart is beating, fully developed, pumping 26 pints of blood through the system. The fully developed little nose and eyelids, and this baby has expressions, can swallow and hiccup and has those facial expressions. This is clearly a human being. And to be so cavalier about that precious unborn child is so disheartening. It is a human being. It can feel pain.
Absolutely. Oh, it's so disheartening. You know, you heard our interview with Representative Michelle Fischbach, and she's one of the pro-life women elected this Congress that has a historic number of pro-life women. Can you speak to this exciting time with the pro-life women in the House? And do you think pro-lifers should be concerned at all that Representative Fischbach is a freshman Congresswoman in this new leadership role?
Well, I think her joining Chris Smith, I mean, what a hero. Dr. Andy Harris, these pro-life doctors are worth their weight in gold. And now adding this woman who has devoted much of her life to defending the unborn child. She may be a freshman, but she's hit the ground running. And this beautiful class of these pro-life women, they have made history, and they're going to continue to make history. We couldn't be happier. women have a unique role to play in this movement, and Michelle Fischbach and the others are going to be an example for pro-life women around this country, especially young women that are looking to pro-life leaders.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see that history being made. Marilyn Musgrave with the Susan B. Anthony List, thank you for your time.
Thank you.